Hey guys, welcome to another episode. And I'm still your host. Armin's still kind of out of it because apparently he went to another Comic-Con, and this time he was a couple video game characters. He was it Scorpion and
Yeah, I saw that.
one of the guys from Army of Two, which kind of surprised me because I forgot about that game, even though I
Everybody
played a lot.
did. I'm sad. It's a good game.
Yeah, like there's the first one, and then the day had two. The second one was with the cartel, right?
Yeah, 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 I think so. Yeah, yeah. I think
Yeah.
that's why I liked it because I had the cartel.
Yeah. But here still with me is Joe.
How's it going, guys? Hey,
Yeah, Mitch couldn't make it because he was hungry, so
yeah.
he was eating right now.
I think Armin is installing Destiny right now too, so it's also
Yeah.
like he's got to grind on that for a minute, and it's like fine. It happens. We all
Yeah.
have our moments.
Yeah,
Tristan up
but
all night playing Destiny.
yeah, me too. I've been playing for a while now, and everything's still different. We got a little bit of news about that a little
Yep.
later, but like all introductions, you can catch me at Control Breakers on the Twitters,
Mm-hmm.
just plugging away, and you can catch Joe at Halftime Joe if you have any questions of the sort, depending ranging from sports to comics.
Or if you're Mexican, I'm just putting it out there. Just or you're Selena Gomez, but that's just me wishing. For
Yeah, you can also catch our other Twitter from the main podcast from Comic Book Cast. But most of the time, it's just updates on videos and such.
I'm telling you, I just usually say Google us, and you'll find everything: the Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram, the YouTube. I always just Google
Do
it.
you
Google
really
comic
think
book.
people will Google it? They will probably ask you how to Google it. Is it Comic Book Cast,
Oh
Comic Book
my
Cast
god!
2?
Literally, just Google comic book cast, and you'll find everything. Like it doesn't even matter if it's separate or together. You find everything for us. That's how I usually want to. That's how I want to start saying it now. Just like Google it, because
Even
like
even the Patreon?
I mean, yeah, you see the Patreon, but patreon.com/comicbookcast if you want your name to be shown, like we did at the beginning of this show, because at any level, dollar or above, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You're basically helping to produce the show, so those are producer credits.
Yep. So you'll be in the Brewster Cutters that will be rolling around now, if Armin remembers.
I'm sure it was earlier. This is like already like 2 minutes in, so it's like
Well,
I'm
I know
pretty sure it's the first
well,
30
he
seconds.
listens to about like the first 5 to 10 minutes most of the time, so just putting it out there again.
Yeah, well, it should have somewhere around here.
All
Yeah.
right, well, so let's get into some news,
Yep.
and it's the first news that it was actually kind of weird that was over a couple days ago, is that Cliff, that was one of the developers on was I think it was God of War, and I'm not so sure did he do Gears of War also,
I'd have to actually check on that because you
or
keep
is it?
going. I'll check on it for you. I'll be your fact checker,
Okay, I think it's Gears of War. I'm just getting my
which would make sense to be fair.
yeah, I'm just getting my facts all mixed up. But anyway, he is well, Lawbreakers is having some trouble keeping a player base, and for him, he kept saying that he has to keep this game alive because this is one of his own personal projects that he touted that it's gonna be the next not MOBA shooter, it's a hero shooter. There's a little bit of difference. It's not Battleborn. But yeah, the sales figures is not very good on PC on the PC version for Lawbreakers, ranging even though it's like really cheap because it's only multiplayer, they're only charging I think $30 to play instead of the usual 40 or 60. And what he's saying is that it's been released on PC and PlayStation 4 so far right now. That the PlayStation version is doing fine in the player base, but the PC version it went off a cliff because as of like any 24-hour peak, the player base for that game is about 7,482 players playing at any given time. And that's not good.
I mean, I know. I remember. I didn't even know this came out, even though I was like tracking it a little bit because I was like, oh, okay, this seems kind of interesting. But
I mean,
I just kind of forgot. But I will agree to his statement that I mean, because he has the statistics, but it does seem like a lot of people are playing it on PS4 because I know actually I have a lot of friends who are playing it that still want me to get it, but I'm like,
yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, because I've seen gameplay and I've seen people say it's a good game. It's a solid game. It's not bad by any means. It's that it's doing it's jumping into a genre which is dominated by one or two games, which is the most recent game that everyone loves is Overwatch. It's dominated by Overwatch, and it's being compared to Overwatch, just like Battleborn was. And we know how the Battleborn versus Overwatch went.
Oh, I clearly because my friends thought Battleborn was gonna win, but nope,
Yeah.
Overwatch won.
Well, that was because Battleborn was touted as a hero shooter, which it wasn't. It was a MOBA. And when people found that out, then it kind of got, oh, it's not like Overwatch. It's a MOBA. I played a couple like third person or first person mobile shooters, and they're fun. It's just that they're in a different mindset than a hero shooter. And for what Cliff is saying is that he knows that Lawbreakers is in a slump, and that that he can't deny that from what he's saying that Lawbreakers is gonna kick Overwatch's ass because it's just a hero shooter that everyone just likes because it's the characters. It's not knowing if you didn't read the comics because yeah, for people who don't know, Overwatch has online comics that
Yeah.
tie into the lore. And even he stated that, he's going to try and do something like that with Lawbreakers. But people didn't latch onto it like they did with Overwatch or any of the other games because they're just one of many that people can go to. And if it doesn't really set itself apart, even though it kind of does, yeah, you're just going to get this. The PC players are not going to embrace this, and it's just going to be like Evolve. And he didn't state how many players were playing on the console, but if he's saying it's doing good enough, I might guess it's doing about has a player base probably about like maybe 2 million, 3 million at the
Well,
most.
I'm looking at numbers really quick, and it says
Yeah,
so for PC though, um it hit an all-time peak of 7,482 players. So it's a concurrent player. So that was PC, but then
yeah,
yeah. So it doesn't really necessarily give too much on the PS4 version, like how many concurrent players. But she just says like it's doing it, and it definitely, honestly, it looks like Overwatch. You're right. Like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
trying to be
That's
Overwatch, but it's gonna fail in that sense, and it should have just been its own game, in my opinion. It should have just had its
yeah,
own style.
yeah. Because like the gameplay wise, it's fine, but when they're trying to be a hero shooter, they're gonna get compared to Overwatch, and it's doing
No,
almost
but
like
sorry, it's also it's the menu layout. It looks like Overwatch.
the menu layout and like the UI and all that.
Yeah, it looks like
Uh,
Overwatch, and that's where it falters in that sense. And I can get like, oh, don't why fix what's broken, right? But I think that's also we're thinking like this just is Overwatch. I might as well play Overwatch, which like millions more people are playing.
yeah,
So
yeah, I can understand that. And it's just to give a closing dots. It's just it was released at the wrong time, just like
definitely,
Battleborn was.
oh definitely,
And yeah, hopefully he does well because this is one of his pet projects that he did on his own. Like I think it was there's that one free to play game he did too. I forgot what it was, but it was a shooter also, but it was you were drawings instead.
yeah.
But let's continue with another topic, which is kind of cool.
Real quick,
Uh,
fact check. You were right. He did do Gears. One, two,
okay,
three. So yeah, just wanted to put
okay,
it out there.
all right.
All right.
Let's I got that. But next is the Final Fantasy. The next one, Final Fantasy 16, could be another open world again because of the director talking about how well received Zelda Breath of the Wild was. And the reason for being is that unlike Square Enix, where their side quests didn't really mean much, Nintendo actually kind of carried even with side quests, even if they were really mundane. I'm just gonna put that out there, even though there is no side quests about this. Let's just say like Link had to get this watermelon. The farmer is watermelon to the store, but throughout the whole thing, We learn about why he couldn't because of his backstory and another story about another character, the salesman. And it's just, it winds down. You actually get to know these two NPCs you otherwise would just pass up because you just needed the items that they sell.
Yeah.
For Final Fantasy, when Square Enix tried to do a side quest open world game, they didn't really flesh out the characters for side quests. It was, hey, I need you to pick up this crate of seeds that have been sidetracked out in the wilderness somewhere. Find them, bring them back to me. You find them, you bring them back, you get money and XP. It's basically the same thing, generic fetch quests
Yeah.
from different NPCs. You don't really learn anything about what they're doing or about the world, and that's where people kind of got mad.
And that's where people were like, "Oh, Breath of the Wild is like,
Yeah, he goes, you have reason and story and lure mixed in with the side quest of what you do because you learn more about the world instead of, oh, I need you to, take this and take it to the wilderness, or like there was like near the end quest for me, there was you learn about the dragons because when you're in the overworld, sometimes there are like three or four dragons you can randomly come across. Just out in the wilderness, you could randomly come across one of them at a different time. And during one of the quests, you learn about them because one of them got infected by Ganondorf. And that's when the shrine tells you that there's more dragons out there. And if you didn't see any, you'll be able to see them now. So that's where people were getting the facts of how they're drawing that, Breath of the Wild is a better open world game than Final Fantasy because they don't have that. But I draw the fact that Tabitha didn't have enough time because of how the tumultuous that Final Fantasy 15 had in development when it was it versus 13, and then that got built down and went to Final Fantasy 15, and then they were really behind on the development scale, and that's when it went from Nomura to Tabitha. And originally, he only had about 3.5 years to complete that game,
yeah,
and so amazingly, they made it because I think they originally wanted an extra 6 months from that first delay. But Square and the shareholders said no, you get it out within that, and you can fix everything you need to fix in patches and DLC. So
man, it's just like,
yeah,
I mean, people love the recent Final Fantasy game, but I'm pretty sure this next one, with all the
it's
stuff that they've figured out
yeah,
that people love again
yeah,
or people need, it's gonna be way better.
it's like what it is people are saying it's a good game. It's a solid gameplay. It's just that what people like about the Final Fantasy series is that they want the personal stories, which
Yeah,
you didn't really have that much of because of the time scale that they have. That they had to build the game back up in 3.5 years when a usual development cycle for a game is anywhere between 4 to 5 years.
yeah.
And hopefully, with the next installment, they can get that down right with the vision that they originally wanted to not go in different directions constantly because they don't know what to do. And if they do that, then you'll get that world building that people wanted so much with the open worldness. Is saying that the open world is good. It's fun and it's inspiring from the defensive design aspect because a lot of the stuff is really gorgeous to see, but there's not a lot to do in the world at all. I mean,
It,
it's pretty empty for the most
I
part.
mean, I've never been the biggest, like, I played every Final Fantasy game, but I definitely think this next one is gonna want me to get it more so after hearing some of the things like, oh, we're actually gonna do something better than what we did before in all that sense. Because I'm sure people, like I said, people loved the recent Final Fantasy game, but this one is gonna be the game changer in its series. I would say in that
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, it's for me, even though they do get hit points for how they handled 15, from from what you've learned from how it got to versus 13 to 15, where for the most part, for what the reviews have been saying, is that it's a pretty solid game. It's just that it doesn't have the world building that all the previous Final Fantasies have that people come to love.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm like, yeah, that's where the development cycle of 3.5 years comes into. They only gave them that much time. They couldn't delay it anymore. And you could look at the their uh, their sister game, Kingdom Hearts, where you can see that the 5 to 6 years of development time come to fruition when you see some of the trailers that come out every year or two, and you see it being better than it was last time. And from the last trailer, you get to see that they are really working hard with their because the engine that's different is that the Luminous engine for 15 is actually an unfinished engine because they for some reason they couldn't get it to work. Originally, they wanted to use Luminous Engine 2.0 to run 15, but it couldn't run. So they're using, for 15 specifically, they're using Luminous Engine 1.5. And they tried using that for Kingdom Hearts, but it couldn't do it. So from this point forward, any subsequent games from Square Enix is going to use Unreal Engine 4, which is going to help them immensely since it's not a custom engine that they're using.
It just sounds exciting to me, to be honest.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so that's what I just wanted to put out there.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it is exciting because people, so far from seeing like Kingdom Hearts, they know what they're capable of, and that's what they want to see with Final. Was it? I don't know. It's like Final Fantasy VII, where it's getting an easier time in the development stages than 15 did its whole conception from versus 13, which is close to like, I guess if people want to say 10 years, I'm like, okay, you can say 10 years, but probably 5 of those years it was versus 13 and it got, scrapped and built back up and scrapped and built back up again. But yeah, it's just people want what they are accustomed to. They want those world building, character building, awe-inspiring worlds, and I guess Square Enix wants to try it one more time with open world, and I'm open to it.
Yeah, me too.
Just want it to be an even better game than what they're touting out right now. And we can move on to the next topic, which is, I don't know. Do you like was it the Middle Earth
Yeah.
series?
Yeah, the first one. I'm looking forward to the next one too. Like, especially since they're adding. I mean,
Hmm?
the sequels always add way more and story
It
and all
is
this
because
new
they're bringing back
features.
the Nemesis system.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And it's awesome. But another thing for the PC crowd, they found out that the DLC for the orcs, where you can
Yeah.
the microtransaction thing, where you can buy orcs to help you out. Well, this apparently they're only a single use item.
So that was that whole microtransaction thing that had been blown up, right?
Yeah,
And
but
yeah,
from what they said is that you'll get items, but what people thought is the common consensus is that once you pay for the orcs, you get to keep them, and they're tied to your account. So whenever you do like a new game, they'll be there still. But no, apparently from what they found out is that the Orc Slayer DLC is not a continuous thing. It's a one-time thing. So once you use the orc, it's gonna be gone from some subsequent new playthroughs and such.
okay, okay. I mean, I'm probably not gonna do it, to be fair, so it doesn't even matter to me. But there's gonna be a lot of people who are probably gonna do this, so it's good. You gotta know, guys, if you're gonna do this, like Tristan said, it's only one time. Don't think it's forever.
Yeah, I know, because like that's people are mad is because they potentially they could you could like the orcs and you would want to keep them instead of keep buying them over and over depending on how much they are, because if they have like if they do the pack deal where it's like you'll get like 5 orcs for 5.99, 12 orcs for 10.99 and subsequent like that, that's where okay, now they're just trying to milk you for money.
Yeah,
But if it's like, you 5.99, you get 10 orcs, but you get to keep them, you wouldn't need to, keep buying orcs. If only like, like 10 orcs is all you're gonna need, then yeah, people wouldn't really mind. But if it's, a one-time deal, then yeah, you're gonna have to keep getting orcs if you want them to have, if you want certain orcs in your army. But I'm just saying is that
yeah,
if you don't like it, don't buy it. And it just shows it will show the publisher that you're not gonna fall for this milking tactic because you know that this is a good game and that potentially they could get more money from people from for a good game with its DLC than actually making like a DLC story, which certain development teams actually like to do, and that's what gets people to actually buy the DLC because they know they're getting their time's worth of payment and fun from the DLC instead of instant gratification that you could steamroll as part of the game with these orcs. If you just paid
So, th-
$5 to $10.
does this technically not resolve, but I mean, resolve the problems that some people had initially when this was said? Because like they're like,
Well,
oh, but even this is one
not,
time,
oh, not really in a sense is that they should have it would have been resolved if they came out automatically and said that these orcs from the DLC or Killer DLC are one-time use only from the get-go. But now since they were trying to roll it out steadily before until when people got the game, because those initial first day sales are going to be a lot lower now because
Yeah,
people are not going to be more inclined to buy it day one. They're going to wait, a couple days to a week or even a Steam sale to buy it now because most like PC players have a stance on most DLC. If it's not, if like the hours played to how much it costs are not good enough for them, then they're not going to play it, especially if it's a one-time use item, which means they're only going to be there probably until they get killed or for that playthrough
yeah.
only. So if they want to do another playthrough, they're going to have to buy more orcs if they want to have the same amount or, a specific orc. So it's not really, they didn't really do anything. It kind of made it worse in a way because the way they found out is that they found through a Q&A.
Those dang Q&As, you gotta watch out with those.
Yeah. So I guess someone leaked that information.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. I mean, I don't know if people all here in the comments below like what Warner's doing or not, but they just want to, I guess, capitalize on the money from one of their IPs that they have at their fingertips. I mean, you can't fault them for that. It is a business, but
Nope.
the way they go about it, that's another thing.
The-
And there's another thing we have. I mean, Joe, you still have 2DS? Or are you getting the was it the Pokemon edition or the Pokeball edition of the new 2DS
There's a
that's coming out soon?
Pokemon edition. I didn't even get the new one.
Yeah, I didn't
I'm gonna
know
check it
this
out.
until yeah, I didn't know this until like I went to like GameStop like a week ago and they were saying like, oh, you can pre-order the Pokeball edition of the new 2DS,
Here's
or it's a giant Pokeball on the
I,
front.
I see it, and I'm on a website called the Christian Post. But yeah, I see it now. Okay, it's red and like Pokeball. I don't know. I'm that type of guy. Real quick before you get into the news, I'm that type of guy where that stuff is cool, but it might be low key awkward in public. I don't know. Like, I
I mean,
mean,
it's only awkward if you're like walking around with it constantly, but if like you're
yeah.
sitting it down and like you pull it out, no one's really gonna care.
I mean, I'm sure there's. I'm sure the. I mean, I'm sure a couple girls might pull up because they like Pokemon too. They're like, "Oh, is that a Pokemon?" Yes, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I've always been weird about that, and it's not like a social thing. It's just I don't know. It just feels weird having one of those because I've always been one to just get like a straight black or blue type of color.
Uh,
So that's just I just like those colors and it just looks nicer to me. But yeah, okay. I see what you're talking about now. Yeah.
yeah, but for a promotion, it was a weird promotion because the U.S. doesn't usually get these kind of types of
Nope.
promotions unless it's through like like a movie deal or it's through GameStop. And apparently, for Pokemon Sun and Moon, you can get a free Charizard from going to a Target from October 1st to the 14th. And the Charizard is kind of I would say I don't want to say it's kind of good, but from what people have been saying, it's kind of like Ash's Charizard through to a point. It's a Charizard that's level 50, and it knows Dragon Dance, Flare Blitz, Fly, and an Earthquake.
Yeah, it is kind of Ash's
Yeah,
Charizard.
and it'll have Blaze and
Yeah.
a red card.
Yeah.
But it's a limited time code, so you actually have to go to the Target and ask a representative, which normally you're going to go to, I think
Yeah.
customer service is what they're going to refer you to because on some of the Reddit posts, That's what they're saying. Is like, it goes, I can't wait to go to my local Target and ask about this, and most of the employees are not going to know what the hell I'm talking about. And someone said, Target employee here. Most of the time when this types of promotions happen, you're just going to be sent to customer service, so you might as well just go there first if you really want that Charizard. But this is, they're doing this because of the Pokemon card game, actually. And it's because Target is getting an exclusive Charizard GX pack or box,
Yeah.
which comes with about 4 cards, 3 promo cards, and a pin and a coin.
So I mean, the one thing I want to say is I wish they'd do this more often. I feel like they should.
Well, this is awkward. I'm on my phone right now because my router decided to crap out
Yeah.
for one reason or another. It's actually pretty weird.
See, guys, no one's perfect. Technical difficulties, but we're getting it back. We're finishing the show up. That's the best thing about this being pre-recorded. We can edit it together if we need to. Usually we don't, but just stuff like this happens. So just don't mind if you can hear the difference between Tristan right now and Tristan a couple minutes ago. That's just how it is. But getting back into the Pokemon news, I would say, it just gets me excited because, as I said before, kind of as you dropped, this is something they should have been doing. And I feel like it makes sense to put codes into the cards and stuff like that and make people buy the cards more. I don't know.
Yeah. That's well, if you want to get technical about it, that's what the video games are. Oh, the anime is just a giant promotion for the video games, and the video games are another promotion for the card game, and vice versa.
Yeah. I mean, look, this is cool that you're getting a free Charizard of that, but this is only for like, are you gonna be able to put this in Ultra?
I think so. Most likely, yes, it's going to be able to be transferred to Ultra,
Oh, yeah.
but it's only for the first through the 14th. So you only
Yeah.
have a limited time to actually go to a Target if you really want to get this Charizard. Most people are just saying it's a nice promotion, but you can probably breed or get a better Charizard on your own just by trading.
You dang elitists who breed and everything, thinking you.
Well, yeah, because like I recently traded for a Charmander, and it's mostly battle ready because I checked it, and most of its stats are in attack and speed. So it depends on like if someone goes to a target and sees their stats and if they're actually pretty good, or if they can get it to be good, then yeah, you go ahead and go get it if you like the competitive scene or not.
I mean, I just kind of like that it's like a special Charizard. That's for that fact. To me, it doesn't need to be battle ready. I just like the fact that it's a nice promotion, like Ash's Charizard, basically.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
like that's what some people are just saying. It's not so much that, if it's like competitive, as if it's a competitive, compatible Pokemon, it's just a good promotion for people to have because not like if you go to Japan, they have over like 300 promotional Pokemon, and the US only gets like 50. And it depends on what is happening at the time. So like you either be like a GameStop promotion or a Wi-Fi promotion. And some
yeah,
people tune that too because I think like back probably in the early 2000s because they used to have like a lot of like Pokemon events and one of the distribution companies, I think some people said it was Target, they complained because people didn't go into on Target Toys R Us. Toys R Us complained that people would go just for the Pokemon and not get anything else.
yeah. I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, either way, it's still like you're buying it, even if you just go for that. But you gotta watch out because then like people are sneaky and they're gonna be like trying to open it and get the code and dip. Yeah, watch
Oh
out.
yeah, I've seen people do that. Where like I'll go by the card section and see like packs thrown in the back and they're open.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, B, I'm just trying to look like, can y'all leave stuff here for me? It's like, yeah.
Well, because like it's not so much the card collecting is that since it is a TCG, um, there is money to be made in
That's
having
true.
those hollows or special cards that have like a really I think like a rare a production rate. So
This is
that's what
true.
most of the time. Yeah,
All
that's
right.
what most of the time people do.
Ready to go into the next piece of news? Do you have it up in
Yep.
front of you, or do I bring it up?
Uh, Oddly enough, I don't know if we want to go back. My I just reset my router and it came back on.
Okay, no, that's fine. Nah, I just keep it going. We'll just finish it off like this, but yeah,
I mean, well, you can do the Marvel vs. Capcom. I
yeah.
want to try and bring it up.
All right, so Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite's DLC characters have been announced. This was just, I think, today. So there was much speculation into who the four remaining DLC characters would be, yada yada yada. But officially, Monster Hunter, Winter Soldier, Black Widow, and Venom, who is being called the shape-shifting Venom. So, I mean, that might have something to do with his character on Marvel vs. Capcom. But
So it's not like an actual person. It's just Venom as a symbiote.
it probably. So
Oh,
it to me, I probably won't be getting this game. I don't know if you will. There's not a lot of incentive because I personally like Injustice more than Marvel vs. Capcom. But
like from what I've seen, and not from what I played from like the actual demo, which is
yeah,
actually pretty good. From the reviews I've seen earlier today, it's it's an okay game. It could be better, but mm, I'm probably not going to get it at first. Probably if it does come on sale, I probably will get it. But to me, so far, Dragon Ball Fighters seems like the
oh
better
yeah.
game to play.
If you're gonna get a fighting game, that's the one. Because Injustice was the
Yeah,
summer, and now you need a
yeah,
fall one, and Dragon Ball Z is
yeah,
gonna be the one to get. If you're, I mean,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure if you're a fan of
yeah,
fighting games, you're getting it
yeah,
already. Yeah.
yeah. And though with the on the DLC character side, I was surprised that they actually went with Black Widow. Most people thought it'd be someone else, but through some of the leaks, it was pretty one to one, except for Black Widow. They called out female Monster Hunter,
Yeah.
Winter Soldier, Venom, like Sigma, and all the rest of them. But the one that they didn't think was gonna make it was Black Widow, which
Oh
is
yeah.
a
Yeah.
surprise because not many people would know her on the comic book side so much towards the movie side, so they didn't think that they would try and add Black Widow to the roster.
Yeah. I know it's yeah. I can see how you like people would come up with that, even though it's like it is one like there is a lot of weird character selections in this where like I didn't think it'd be that person. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, yeah.
but
That's what it is. And
uh,
like, I don't know if you like played like Marvel vs. Capcom 3 because people like having
I,
3v3 battles and
yeah, I definitely played it. I mean, like that's cool. The DLC characters are Winter Soldier, Black Widow, and all that. But personally, Warrior Thor and Gladiator Hulk or like those pre-order like bonus character costumes
yeah,
just sound
yeah.
awesome.
I mean they're pre-order bonuses, but what it's telling me is either they're gonna probably be a character skin pack or you can either buy it or hopefully what they did do in like Street Fighter 5 is they allowed you to buy it with in-game points, which now they're easier to get than they used to be because you could
Yeah.
play like arcade mode or their story mode and not get enough coinage. And basically, if you wanted that skin, you'd have to buy it.
Um, See, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah, so if I can guarantee you that there's going to be some skin packs for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. And also, what I didn't know is that if you guys like are on the collectible side and like Funko Pops, GameStop and a lot of other chains are getting Mario, I think Funko Pop games, the games collection, which is getting Marvel vs. Capcom Pops, the two packs. You're gonna have a couple of characters having some of their character skins from the bonuses and such like that. You have, I think, some of them are Chung-Li and Captain Marvel. Another one's X and Rocket Raccoon, and so on. And some of them are going to have some alternative skins as their pop figure. So like, I think like you'll have like Ultimate Armor X and I think alternate skin Rocket Raccoon as one of them. I think that one I think is like a GameStop exclusive though.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I see. So, I mean, are you getting this game?
Well, maybe when if it goes on sale or not, because to
Five
me,
dollars.
Well, I could probably get it on a Steam sale for
Oh,
probably
that's
about
true.
25 if they have it. But like from like day one or week one, probably not.
All right. I was just wondering. All right. That's it pretty much for the news. Ready to go into the games of the week, like what we played, what's come out, and stuff like that.
Yep.
Do you have your computer up?
Yeah, my computer's up and ready.
Okay, make sure. Just making sure. The router situation. We got, whoever your internet provider is, we got to talk to them. We got to talk to them. But go ahead.
Well, the reason being is that it's a really old router. I need to get a new one.
Yeah. Why? Yeah, you
But
got it. You got to get a new one.
but for the games I played, it's mostly Destiny. Other than that, I did buy Digimon and Cyber Sleuth for like $15.
Yeah, but
Uh,
those are the games I've been wanting to play. I haven't
yeah,
gotten to, but those are games I've been wanting to play. To be honest.
yeah, because the thing is that it was I think it was when I was gonna buy it. It was either that or Digimon World New Order. But when I found out what New Order was, it's basically a updated version of Digimon World 1. And I had flashbacks of when I was a kid playing Digimon World 1 when I rented that thing because at the time I was watching the Digimon anime. And I thought, ooh, this could be cool, and how wrong I was. For people who don't
Yeah.
know, Digimon World 1 is a pet simulator RPG,
Yeah,
hardcore one.
basically Sims.
Yeah, it's a hardcore one. And
Yeah.
what I mean by that is that you need to know the stats and changes and the personality of your Digimon to digivolve it to what you want. Otherwise, it's going to digivolve to whatever it wants because you did not get the certain attack points, defense points, the affinity ratio correct. So you'll on most oftentimes digivolve into the Digimon that you did not want.
Yeah.
And it they do get hungry. You do have to feed them. They do crap. You do have to take them to the bathroom. If you don't, they will their affinity points will go down, and you won't get the Digivolution that you wanted. And what was funny about that is there was a review on Amazon when I looked at it, and he compared this to a girlfriend that you did not want that nagged you constantly.
That's
Yeah, it
funny.
is like the Digimon cries, Digimon whines, Digimon
It's Sims
eats food.
basically.
Yeah, that's what because he thought it was like Digimon World 2 and 3, which is basically a regular turn-based RPG, which you didn't have the Sims element to it. It was just you gain experience, you digivolve your Digimon to whatever your Digimon could digivolve to at the time, and you're good to go. And that's where New Order I passed on that and went with Cyber Sleuth because that's what it was. It was a classic turn-based RPG which if you had the right stats, you can digivolve your Digimon into anything.
Yeah.
And it's pretty good so far, but I've only made it to past the first chapter. After that, it was like Destiny 2 for like the current like week to week and a half.
So,
I do have some other games, but
I mean, you've been playing a lot of Destiny, so I wanted to talk a little bit about
yeah.
that. There's like this new update that's coming up and all that about like, explain to the people the little update that's coming up if you remember.
Well, the update was apparently there was some glitches with some of the exotic quests, like with the Mida multi-tool, where if you didn't have two open primary slots, you wouldn't get the gun. So like you do the quest and give you the experience and stuff, it just wouldn't give you the gun. And you can't redo the quest unless you went to another character. Or yeah, and that's what people kind of got mad about. If you didn't know it at the time, you wouldn't get the gun. And for the current meta of the PvP side of Destiny 2 is that you need to run as a team and you need to be a good shot from, I guess, mid-range to mid to far for the most part, because not a lot of people are using auto rifles, even though like at close range, auto rifles basically destroy scout rifles. So if you're good with the scout, you're basically going to be at the close to the top of the leaderboard most of the time.
Mm, yeah, yeah.
It's all about getting those headshots.
Have y'all finished the raid?
I haven't. I've been trying to get people to do it, but people don't
That's the
want
new
to do it
Twitch.
yet.
Come on, Mitch,
Yeah,
where
I
you
know.
at?
I know. No, he wants to do it too. We need to get like four other people because like right now my hunter's like at 296, so I'm like good enough. I'm more than good enough to do the raid at this point, but it's just
That
finding.
that seems way out of proportion. 296. Oh, never mind. I'm thinking like that's what's your like. No, because I'm thinking like
The max
level.
the
Yeah.
max light level is 350.
Okay.
The actual character levels, it's like how it was in the beginning of Destiny 1. You're still after you max out at 20, you can't really go any higher.
No, because I was thinking the
So
light levels were like at 300 or something like that. I was like, oh.
yeah, that's like the beginning of Destiny where your gear was your attack level, I think it was,
Yeah.
because like at one point my character's like a 2000 attack level.
Yeah, I
But then
remember
it's
that.
but after the Taken King update, it's basically you just need better gear, but you just lock out at level 20.
So, yeah. Anything else about Destiny right now? Because what are some
Oh,
other games?
just
Because I have like a 5 minute thing about like
yeah.
live in 2K.
Other than that, I was just collecting some retro games. Like I just recently bought a Game Boy Color. It was I think some people call it a berry color, other ones call it indigo. Um, but I just call it red. But I got it
Yeah.
from GameStop through their online store, and I thought I was waiting for it to come, and I was hoping for the worst. You know, like the screen was all scratched to hell. You know, the back was missing, and you know it was just beat up. Like you know, I wasted like 30 something dollars that I probably have to take back. But no, the Game Boy I got back, unless they replaced the screen, it looks almost brand new,
Yeah.
and the back to the actual console itself is there. It's not that much wear and tear. It's almost like new. I have Pokemon Yellow and Pokemon Silver. Uh,
Oh.
Apparently the batteries have been replaced because they do save. Because I did see that that one of the backs of the cards that they haven't messed with. I looked into it, and they do save on the Pokemon Yellow edition. They had the trainer had I think it was a Caterpie, Metapod, Nidoran, and a Pidgeotto. And I just saved my on my silver cart. It didn't have any save data on it, but it allowed me to save. So there's that. And I did find an original box of Pokemon Silver for sale for like $20 because they usually run you about $50 that has everything in it. So when it comes, I will have a complete Pokemon Silver game.
I get you. You want the complete.
Well, it's just that because I used to have a lot of this stuff, but as a kid, I'm like, what the hell do I need the box for? And just throw this shit away.
True. That's very true. Um, what I've been playing, but really, what just came out? Technically, NBA Live 18 came out Friday. 2K comes out tomorrow, Tuesday. But real quick, NBA Live 18 versus NBA 2K18, which is should you buy and all that? Because it's like Call of Duty versus Battlefield, right? Everybody's like, oh, Call of Duty's better, Battlefield. There's always like a big. I've actually found Battlefield to be better because I just think it has a lot more detailed features and all that, and it's you know you played both, right? You get what I mean by that. Like it
Yeah,
just
it's not. I guess it's not as arcadey
yeah. Um, I
because like it's more. I think to me, it's like Battlefield 1 is like a more team-based shooter because you have a lot of people on both sides trying to complete an objective than 6v6 where it's either team deathmatch or search and destroy.
See, I personally, I know people are disagree with this, but I always kind of thought, especially like the weeks leading up to it, that NBA Live 18 would be the more Battlefield-ish, and 2K would be more the Call of Duty, where it's kind of like the masses like it, and it's arcade, it's kind of basic, anybody can play, but Live would be a little bit more technical, and to an extent, that's been the thing, at least for me, personally, but I could see why some people think, especially because of the whole custom character new thing that's been made in 2K that that one's the more Battlefield while Live is the more basic standard because they only give you certain amount while
Yeah,
2K
like
became
yeah,
more customizable.
which one was the one who I forgot which one was the one who tried to do the face scan and it messed up
Oh,
horribly.
2K. 2K was you couldn't even use the face scan for like until you did the tutorial for your thing, and live was your able. The thing I hate about both is that stop with the cutscenes. Like, okay, first time around you could do the cutscenes, but people actually go back and rebuild characters, kind of like World of Warcraft or any
Oh,
one of these. Like they go back
you're
to get
stuck in
it.
the cutscenes. You
Yeah,
can't, let's skip it.
yeah, like in Destiny, you might probably go back to go get a
Yeah,
new build, right? Because you want to try
yeah,
something different and all that.
yeah.
People do that for 2K and live for their custom characters to get a new build, but it's because the cutscenes take forever, and they're stupid about that. I don't know why both of them, live and 2K, but 2K's is
It's
longer.
it's just, I think it's a weird thing because they want to emphasize the story, but for the most part, what I've seen from like even single player story campaign video games is that now the developers are adding a skip button. Even if you haven't watched it the first time, they allow you to skip the cutscene whether you played it the first time or the 20th time, just because it's a convenience sake. Because more often than not, most players probably only sit through the cutscenes probably once, maybe twice. After that, they'll just skip it.
I I totally get it having it the first time and needing to skipping it the second time, but just overall, like, come on, bro. Like, there's a lot of people just complaining, and some people lost their custom characters that they spent money and time, like, even though it's only been for a couple of days, that's a lot, like hundreds of dollars and like 24 hours and then they lost it. And it's like 2K, you're already messing up. Like people hate you already, and people were waiting for to have a new game like NBA Live. But the only reason 2K is still doing good in a general sense is because that's the one everybody knows. It's like Call of Duty. Everybody kept getting Call of Duty because that was the one everybody knew. You know, so
Yeah, yeah, it's just the association. Like,
even if they
I,
were being stupid, it's like everybody already knew it. Everybody wanted to go get it because it's the only thing they know.
yeah, I mean, because I've been there where, I've either put like many hours into a character or characters, and either, save file got corrupted or I oversaved by accident, and it's gone. And sometimes when that happens, like I won't play the game for like either a day or two because like it hurts. Like I wasted all that time to get to that
Yeah.
point, and it's gone. Like 2K is trying to make it this. You can I, uh, like you could make it like I guess a cyber hangout for people
Yeah,
come and just hang out or do like custom games and stuff on your park
that.
where
Oh,
where
oh my God. You don't even want to
where
know.
where as live they are just doing what they I guess like what they were doing a couple since they were doing it like for a couple years ago, where it's just the actual court.
I I would say the thing they should have done, and what EA should have done with NBA Live 18, and it was just kind of like take the Madden and FIFA like story mode and add it in there, because the thing they call the one, like it's nice. It's basically my career mode. It's a different my career mode. It has a nice feel to it, but it's just I think it would have gained better like from having a story mode similar to the Journey or Long Shot on Madden, where it's kind of like a mini movie. I think because at the same time it's very similar to my career on NBA 2K. The only difference I would say is like the places. So like you can go on NBA Live, you can go to like Venice Beach and all this, and like the Rucker in New York, and
Okay.
but on 2K it's only just my park and like regular NBA. So that's the thing, and the clear difference I would say is the animations. It's way better on 2K. It's more fluid, or it's very like stiff on NBA Live, which is what everybody's been saying. Plus the pack. What are they? What am I saying? I can't believe I'm forgetting the word. But like the pack chances or like the pack percentages, like to basically get a good card, is so trash. I saw somebody
Oh,
spend $100 and literally didn't get one gold. And I was like, my
so
ninja, or no, one
so
like
the
elite. So it's like my
yeah, so
ninja.
so the so the percentages for the player cards are really horrendous
It was
because
like
like I think if you want to compare it to something like Overwatch, I think it was because they had to, I think like in other countries you had to, the development team had to present the what is it, percentage ratio of what you'd get from like a common, uncommon, rare, and an epic. And what people found out is that you have a 14% chance I think it was every 11 boxes to get a rare or epic skin or item. So if it's lower than that, then yeah, that is trash. If you spend $100 and
It's
you
a,
couldn't get one.
but that's the thing everybody hates about 2K is that their pack luck is trash. Like just like getting a good player, and it doesn't help that it's the first week and everybody's spending $100. It's like the first time even it's not even officially out yet. It's just the early tip off edition, like you reserved it and stuff like that. So every it doesn't help. It's the first couple
Everyone's
days.
trying.
Yeah.
Well, to me, it seems like everyone's trying to race to get the best team possible. So
Well,
when everyone gets it, they can
oh,
just start steamrolling people online.
that's what would have happened last year, and that's what everybody does every year. But the thing is, and what some of the bigger YouTubers are hating, the ones or the people who are spending hundreds of dollars in the first day, is that there is a salary cap, so that you could only have a certain amount at the certain rank you are. Like they do it in like kind of like groups. So like you're group A, right? Like that you have to win like 4 games to
Yeah,
get a group A to go to group B. But in group A, you have a certain amount of like points that your cards come together to equal, and so it's not unfair. So you can't have like all diamond players basically against like somebody with all bronzes, and that's a lot of the YouTubers and the people who spend all the money are hating it because like, oh, I spent all this money, I want to be able to use it all now. But it's a good thing for 2K to put so it equals the playing field or levels the playing
well,
field.
well, well, yeah, because like what you said, if now the points have to equal the cap to all the players,
Basically,
so
yeah.
you're not, and so yeah, so you're not going to be getting, all diamond. You could get, so you're going to have to change your roster depending on, your allotted points, which is, you could have like one or two diamonds, a
Exactly.
bronze
Exactly.
and a gold or whatever like that. So it balances out. So like you said, everyone won't just, get the best players they can and keep them on a team.
I, I like it because I'm too cheap to ever spend that much money on a game. Like in
Well, yeah,
microtransactions.
yeah, well, I wouldn't, me either. I wouldn't, plop down $100 right
But
there and then.
I don't know. I really do like NBA Live 18, but it's just the fact that it doesn't seem like a lot of people are gonna be towards it, and I'm just like, I'd rather be in a place where a lot. I mean, I'm getting both, but I mean, I got both, but I'd rather be in a place where everybody's kind of playing and like that all my like people I know are
Yeah,
playing and stuff like that. And people are gonna go to NBA Live every now and then when they're like get super
yeah,
mad at 2K, but
yeah, yeah, I
people are going to
understand. It's just that
2K.
you just want like an even player base and not have like live be, just whatever, just a sporadic.
It's Lawbreakers versus Overwatch. It's like you know what I mean. It's like that
Yeah,
conversation you
because
just
like
had
you can,
earlier.
yeah, like you like on PC. I get from Lawbreakers, I think it'll take about like 10 minutes to find a match, but like for Overwatch, it'll take you a couple, like probably 10 to 15 seconds to find a match on
Yeah.
Overwatch.
It's yeah, but I do. I think what I love better is the customization you can do on 2K for your creative character. You could go super detailed, and they're probably gonna patch some stuff super quick because some of the stuff is like a glitch. Basically, it's like how are you even doing that? It's like, but they're I think if you're looking for like your own character when if you're playing these games, I'd say 2K. Yeah,
Yeah, I understand. That's that they're just trying to refine what they did last year instead of, going all completely different.
definitely. I just it hurts me to say it, but I would say get 2K over NBA Live. It's just there's more people on it. They have a draft mode, which is also kind of stupid. So the thing is, like everybody loves things with 2K, but everybody hates it as well. So it's like it's one of the few games where like, oh, I love this, but I also hate it. It's a love hate relationship. Really, it's one of those tragic relationships that someone needs to call the cops on with us in 2K. Honestly, but it's that bad. But it has like different modes that add in cool things. The music is trash though, so just mute it. But
Well, if they couldn't get like a actual good album together.
yeah, Live has a better music, and it has like some better features too. Where get 2K. It's the go to. It looks like it's done a little bit better things than last year that you might like more. And it's just that sucks that NBA Live is getting pushed down. They're definitely gonna have to do something way different, which is gonna be what I said, and is make the mini movie that they did on FIFA and Madden. So it's gonna have to take that. So that's really to change it. So
Oh,
yeah, That's pretty much it for my like little thing of
There's
which one to stream.
there's one thing though.
Well, go ahead.
I wonder if they're gonna make an exclusive some exclusive items like
That's true. Yeah.
so like shoes or hats and stuff. But if they do make some exclusive items, I'm waiting on the BBB brand shoes.
Oh well, on 2K, Lavar is in 2K. You're gonna be able to like I think you're gonna be able to sign with them. To be fair, I think because in 2K in the My Career,
Yeah.
you have to sign with a shoe company for like the shoes that your character is gonna go through while you're playing in the NBA. But I think you can sign with them. So that's the funny part. Like the thing is, like 2K seems to have this more hippish vibe where it's like very what people do on Twitter kind of thing,
Yeah.
and NBA Live is still kind of like that businessy type of thing. So that's why people are leaning more towards 2K because it is kind of like it's something you see on Twitter type of stuff. Like it's very it's kind of interactive, like in the sense of they know what the people like Lavar. People want a Lavar in there. People wanted more customizations in their stuff. So there's that sense, but then in a couple months, it's all gonna be patched down, and people are gonna hate it and want to stop playing it. So it's that's 2K. That's just how it is. But yeah, I'm just saying, live EA is gonna have to put the mini movie in there and maybe get more people on board with it. Because 2K, the thing it has with it is that I think if I remember correctly, they partnered it up with Nike, where Nike has like now take control of like the NBA basically because they make the jerseys now.
Yeah, yeah. I
So
think because I think it was I think they didn't. I guess was it the NBA didn't want to renegotiate a contract with Adidas, so they went with Nike.
yeah, and Nike has like this cool thing where like they have a microchip in it, and if you use the app, you get like special stuff, and you get like your players like favorite playlists. So that's pretty dope. But
Yeah, you get that and like discounts and stuff
yeah,
in the
uh,
store. And apparently they have like an alternate jerseys for all of them, but I looked around and a couple of them, they don't really look that much different from the regular jersey.
yeah, I was just. It seems like NBA, I mean, Live has been with Adidas and 2K is with Nike. So it just seems like this year it's gonna be 2K, and hopefully next year it's more Live because I just like Live. It looked cleaner to me, whereas 2K kind of looked really. It tried to be too colorful in its aesthetic, and it's just kind of like I think it tried too hard 2K, and it just kind of looks weird. But at the same time, what are you gonna do? It might look worse, but it's just it has a little bit more stuff that people are gonna like. So yeah, that's my rant on like 2K. Just buy 2K. Everybody's gonna play it. All your friends are gonna play it. If your friends are picking live, pick live. Just pick whatever
Yeah,
your friends are playing. If you have no friends, pick 2K.
yeah. But I think that should do it for this edition
Yeah,
of Control Breakers. You have what we have stated, especially Joe's
rant.
disdain or love for NBA versus
Live and
versus
2K.
live.
Yeah,
But see you guys next time. Hopefully, Armin will join us
yeah.
next time.
Hopefully.
Yeah, but see you guys soon.
Mhm.